We're going to hop into a quick video about achieving balance in life. And this is something that is really weird because, we start off as not really having the equation for this, like in life. So like they don't teach this in school or anything like that. And our best idea of what balance in life looks like is like looking to somebody that's super successful, like a celebrity or like maybe a business mogul or whatever. And it's like, we know what success looks like, but we don't know like what's the complete formula. What is the holistic formula for being that successful person in life that's happy, that's in shape, etc. Right? Like what is that? And you don't know if you don't have the roadmap. They don't teach this. And so what tends to happen, so this is what happened to me in my life. It's like, okay, by the time my metabolism's going down, so I'm out of the Marine Corps at this point, I'm working hard in business and stuff like that, and all of a sudden, my metabolism's going to shit, like I'm older, married with kids, got my business going, whatever, I'm starting to get out of shape, right? So then I start to see that in the mirror, and I finally get to this resolution point. It's like, I got to fix this. And so now I tunnel vision on that, right? But then what happens when you do that? Now all of a sudden your money's going to falter, your relationships, whatever, and now you have to bail water out of the sinking ship. Okay, you save that ship, you jump over here, you save that ship, and then it's like, you just keep bouncing around and you're stressed out. There's no way to live. So in my life, I didn't have coaches or mentors or anything like that. I told myself I couldn't afford it or anything like that. And so I would just turn to Google, and just like you would with any problem, right? You type into Google, how do I fix this? And what I found, independent of some coaching from somebody that's done this before, and I found this thing called the life wheel, which is this graphical representation of what balance is supposed to look like. And it's just a circle with pie slivers in it, and each sliver is a section of life that you can put work in, and there's like 12 sections. So for me, I found this thing, and I'm like, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm just supposed to like work in every area. But it's too drilled down. There's too many areas, right? So the problem for me was that I didn't have somebody who was successful telling me what I was supposed to do each day. I just had this fucking graphical thing that I was going off of and trying to work off that, right? And it's dumb to try to reinvent the wheel, right? Because there are people in life who have figured this shit out, who didn't put together some fucking theoretical graphical thing that isn't really jiving with what a successful person looks like today, right? So that was my struggle. It's like, okay, I'm trying this. Like, I had the discipline to put in I had the willpower, in other words, to like focus on shit. So like go to gym 5 days a week or whatever. Like I can do that. But then why is it when I do that, like my money starts falling off or whatever, like how I can't figure this shit out. And then this life wheel thing, it's like, what the fuck, right? And so 3 months ago, three-ish months ago or whatever, I decided to join a lifestyle mastermind group called the Lion's Den. And it really, for me, it was the answer in terms of how to achieve balance in life. I'm not saying I've achieved it yet, but the answer for me came out of this group. And so I didn't even join the group to like find this answer out. Really what I joined the group for was that I knew that as many times as I've tried and failed to be successful in life, I knew that I finally needed other people around me who were also on this journey. Because you hear it all the time. You hear people say, surround yourself with the kind of people that you want to be around. So I was like, you know what? Tried and failed a million times. I'm going to join this fucking group, and I'm going to see if that makes the difference, And so I joined, and one of the things I decided to do as I joined was to read the book of the guy who founded this group, like to just read his book. And I figured, okay, well, that'll help me assimilate into the group, and it'll help me understand the culture of what this group is about. And in that book, it's called How to Make Shit Happen by Sean Whalen. In that book, there's a formula of what are the areas in life that you need to work in every day to achieve what life balance is. And so now I have the roadmap. Well, okay, number one, let's talk about what the roadmap is. The roadmap is health, wealth, higher purpose, and relationships. Those are the 4 areas. So you can work in 4 areas every single day, right? Those are the 4 areas that you need to work in every day to achieve life balance, okay? So that's what's in the book. Well, how can you trust that some answer is right? So going back to the life wheel thing, like how could I know that was the right thing? Well, in this case, so I read it in this book, right? and I look up to this guy as like somebody that has success, something I want to emulate. So that's the first step, right? The other thing is you hear kernels of truth from different successful people out in the world that walk different walks in life. So people that may not even associate with each other, and yet they all say the same shit. So let's say you're a chef and you follow Rachel Ray, you follow Guy Fieri and Paula Deen, okay? They all have different styles or whatever, but chances are if you're studying how to cook food, they're probably going to say some shit that all is in alignment with each other, right? So you're going to hear this. And in this case, so Sean Whalen wrote it in the book. Come to find out, that stems from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So Sean Whalen is like a sort of like a like badass conservative type guy or whatever. Stephen Covey is kind of like the suit and tie, white-haired epitome of like old money kind of guy or whatever. And then a third guy that I follow, his name's Owen Cook, and he's a sort of like a kind of liberal looking, like modern style, like pickup artist guy, right? All three of these guys say the same thing. All three of them have massive levels of success, and that's how I knew. They all say the same thing in terms of what does the life balance roadmap look like. Okay, it's like power, passion, production, and what was it? Power, passion, purpose, and production. So, which is health, wealth, higher purpose, and relationships. Like however you want to look at it, right? However you want to label it. But those are the 4 areas. And so now I have a roadmap that I can work in, and I can trust it because I've exposed myself to enough input from different high-level people, and I'm first of all, I knew what question to ask. Okay, what does balance look like? So now my brain is searching for these answers, and then I find an answer, but then I cross-reference it with other like high-level people, right? And that's something that I couldn't do, for example, say with the Life Wheel. So big takeaway here is, listen to lots of different sources, right? And emulate result, or try to get answers from people whose results like you actually want to emulate. And there is such a thing as life balance out there, and what it is putting effort every single day. So that means you're planning out your week, right? Because you have to know what to do as the day happens so you can execute your plan. Is put effort into health, wealth, fitness, health, wealth, your higher purpose, which is your mind and what it is that you're trying to do in life, and your relationships. You work, small steps in each area every day, like your life is going to be put together, and you're not going to be bailing water out of the sinking ships.